see, I could do that.
Yeah, I could do that.
Right, I'll be up to Scotland soon. Get audition. Yeah, so it's kind of, I can see where you've followed that passion and gone back into it again, and to actually do what you've done and sort of help rescue the theatre as well. I was saving that till the end, but we might as well talk about that now since we're there. That seems to be fantastic. The Regal Theatre itself, and obviously it's doing very, very well now. And like we've just talked about, you've had people coming from all over the world to do a meet-up there. But obviously that's going to benefit the theatre more, and it's going to get the name out more, and I can expand it even better.
Well, as I say, when I arrived at the theatre 5 years ago, it was going to be closing down, and a lot of local people, a lot of volunteers, much more people than me, got involved in it and decided that it wasn't going to shut on their watch, and they rallied round, and they managed to keep the theatre going for a few years. We're kind of running, but this is a bigger challenge. It's actually running the theatre. Because saving the theatre was one thing when people were kind of donating to save the theatre. Now we're kind of saying, look, we still need the same level of income to maintain it now. It doesn't stop. It just continues on. And obviously we've got things like, we started a youth company and a children's theatre company and a HNC course some years ago. And they need mirrors on the walls. Now, for 5 years, I've been given a tour of the theatre and saying, and we'd like to put mirrors on these walls. and in the last 3 months, we raised 95% of the money.
Whoa.
So since I went onto Twitter and Facebook and obviously started sharing videos about what's going on at the theatre, very kind people from all over the world have said, I'm happy to put in $20 or whatever and try and help the place. So, pretty amazing, a wee bit overwhelming, and certainly a total surprise for me. But, long live the Regal. It's been here 78 years, and the people that had it before us looked after it enough for us to have it today. So hopefully we do our job and there'll be future generations still get to use it, because we've looked after it in our time with it.
Oh, fair enough. No, that's a great thing to do. And like you said, it's a community theatre as well, because you've opened youth theatre and everything in there as well. So it's all aspects of the community. It's somewhere for them to go and take part and enjoy and develop themselves.
I mean, there's 50 kids in our children's theatre school. That's on a Saturday morning, and that's anything between 5 and 13. Our youth company is a company of youths, obviously from 13 to 18, and the class has got 24 in it, and it's full. There's no more room on the class for any more. So, I mean, that's fantastic. And we've got a HNC course with musical theatre students. Collectively, there's 20 kids on that. Our side of that, and we've got 10 musical theatre students and 10 dancers. But they needed the mirrors, and that's what's been so amazing about the Outlander fandom is they've helped us to afford those mirrors, and they're on the walls now, and the kids are upstairs just now using them, which is just amazing.
That is fantastic. It's a pity you're not closer, because I'd join as well. I'll be there to learn how to, to progress myself. Since I'm doing that, getting into it would be a great place to learn. So, is there a website that people can go to as well? Something I'll probably let you publicise that people can go to and have a look at.
Yeah. If they want a wee nosy, you can jump onto it's www.Bathgate Regal. So Bathgate's the area we're from, Regal's the name of the theatre, then it's .org at the end. So that's www.bathgateregal.org, and you can go in there and have a nosy at what we do. There's videos of some of the things we're doing as well. There's links to the fundraising and what we're doing as well. But it's an exciting wee place to be, and there's tickets for next year's Highlander Fling as well that are on it, so you can come to that as well.
Excellent. I think I'll try and persuade the other half for that then.
Good man.
To get up there, cool. So going back again, did you or do you have any role models who inspired you or inspire you now, either in acting world or in your personal life, to become that sort of actor and where you are at the moment?
In my personal life, I grew up, with a single mum. So my wee mum, Joyce Wilson, raised me and my brother up, and since we were 3-year-olds, she was on her own with 2 boys. She worked 3 jobs and went without to make sure that we went with anything we needed. And that's one of the things, that we were never off school ill. I've never been the sort of person that's off ill or anything, and that's because mum was always working away, and we couldn't be ill because she had to go to work. So that's kind of carried on. It must be in the genes now. So I owe a lot to my mum, and my gran. She's actually ill at the moment. She's in hospital, but she's 93,
I've seen that on the Twitter.
And she's one of the coolest people I've ever met. I mean, literally, I love hanging out with my gran, having a wee sing-song. So yeah, on that, in terms of a human being level, if I could be half as good a person as my mum and my gran, I'd be really happy. And in terms of a career-wise, I mean, there's so many people out there, to pick down to one. But films that I've enjoyed watching as I grew up are things like Clint Eastwood. We were on a Saturday morning watching Rawhide. As you're getting older, being allowed to watch the Dirty Harry movies. And recently like Gran Torino and stuff like that. Just amazing films. So I loved watching Mel Gibson stuff. With Braveheart, obviously growing up as well. You love that sort of film. So but probably too many to mention. But I'd say maybe Sean Connery as well. In terms of I loved him in The Rock. And obviously, he was
very good in that, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, I love The Rock. And he maintained his accent, and I'm all for that. I like the idea. Yeah. There's an actor now in the US that's in Sons of Anarchy. Sons of Anarchy, and it's Tommy. Oh, what's Tommy's
Flanagan?
Name? Flanagan, yeah, Tommy
Flanagan. Yeah.
Tommy was in Braveheart as well, and when I seen him on Sons of Anarchy, and he's got his Scottish accent, I was like, oh yeah, go on yourself, Tommy. You went to America and you didn't have to change it. That's what I'd love to do. I'd love to go over and you'd be known as a Scottish actor and they accept your accent and that would be really cool.
Yeah. So. Although Sean Connery, to be fair, in Highlander's got to be the best, wasn't he? What was he, an Egyptian, Spanish, Scott? But you didn't question it because he is. I mean, Sean Connery is. He's just one of those all time. I think we're of a similar age because I kind of grew up the same way with getting old enough to watch Dirty Harrys and stuff. So yeah, definitely, good inspirations there.
Yeah, definitely.
And I do hope your gran gets better as well. I know I've seen that on Twitter. You've put a status on, so I do hope she. Yeah,
I think she had a wee infection and it played about her mind for a wee bit. But the thing that she's 93, obviously, but she's getting better. So that she might be able to return home on Thursday, they were saying, which would be amazing if she gets home.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, hopefully. Keep fingers crossed.
Absolutely.
Be in our prayers. Okay, next one, moving on. So you are an established stage actor as well as screen. Which is your preferred media? Or are they both equally as good when you're doing them at the time?
Yeah, probably. If you ask any actor, the best job is the one that's paying you at the time.
Yeah.
So I happily do whatever somebody's willing to pay them for. I would say, though, in all honesty, in my 20s, I loved the stage. The 20s was when I was treading the boards. It was for 5 years. I was doing the show, singing "I'm Not Billy, He's a Tim." I played a soccer fan in that, a football fan, and I won the stage best actor.
Yeah, I saw that as well. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I won that in 2010. And because I was the producer of the show, to win the award meant so much more to me because I cast myself in the show. So when you cast yourself, you've always got doubts as to whether you're just the guy that's gave yourself a job. Do you know what I mean? To win the stage best actor at the Edinburgh Festival when there was 40,000 performers, and I said to people, and they picked a Glaswegian to win it. I was really taken aback by that. So yeah, I'd say in my 20s, that's when I loved the stage. As I went into my 30s now, I enjoy the films, I'll enjoy the movies, and I enjoy the TV. And I think, as I'm being honest, it's probably more that I'm thinking now of having a family with my wife, and I'm thinking my kids will be able to see the films that I've done, the TV shows, so they'll be able to sit back and go, well, there's my dad playing a soldier, there's my dad in Outlander, there's my dad in Angel's Share. So yeah, that although the stage stuff, I mean, some of the greatest nights in my life were on stage, but I can never share them with my kids. I mean, I can tell the story, but I can never show them it. Whereas with Outlander, we can stick on the DVD and I can watch it with the family. Do you know what I mean? When I'm long gone, hopefully those DVDs live on. And I'll be an ancestor of people that are sitting watching it, going, "Look at this."
He was my ancestor. Look what he's done.
Yeah, that's my great grandfather. So
that's pretty impressive. I think as well, one of the main answers I get from there is the difference between stage and screen. Is stage much more intimate as well, and that's something I remember because my first ever filming was 3 weeks ago, and it was just as an extra. So I was sat for 12 hours for the day, and I think I actually worked for two and a half maybe. So there was a lot of sitting and waiting, and when you did your scene, you did 3 lines. but then you did your 3 lines again, and then until they get the camera angles all right. So I was worried about learning my lines, but by the end of it, I was like, I know I'm off the party. This is not a problem because you've done. When you're in the theatre, you've got that intimacy. So you
only got one take.
Yeah, you've got one take. You've got to be a one-take wonder because if you get it wrong, everyone knows.
And it is a total different craft, and it's beautiful for that, the live show, that most times you're on stage, the show's different every night because the audience are different every night.
Yeah.
So although you're kind of saying the same things and going to the same places, it's a different show completely because the audience steer it a bit. They react to things, they get involved. Whereas on the screen, it's it's, as you say, there's a lot of prep that goes into it, and it's more about focus. Yeah. It's more about keeping focused when the camera isn't running, so that when the camera is running, you're on the ball.
Right there, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, we don't want to do is let your mind wander. You'll forget where your character's supposed to be and what you're doing. When they shout action, that's when you want to be seen. You know what I mean? You want noticed when they're shouting action. When they're not shouting action, be invisible. that's what my experience in the set is, trying to let everybody get on with their job. And when they shout action, you can do your job, but get out of the way until then.
Exactly, yeah. I've got to say, I was sat very, very quietly like a little mouse in the corner for most of it, because they were filming just at the other side of the room, so I was just like, don't say a word, don't do anything.
They might invite you back then. They might invite you back.
Hopefully, I did goof up though, and I'll tell you offline about that one, so because it was kind of spoil the character a bit. But
well, I'll tell you, when I was on Outlander, I had a scene with Sam and Kat, so it was Jamie and Claire's part, and it was I was to come in and say that Lord George requests your presence near the East Dyke. You're to come at once, right? And Sam's character goes, nods, and I shut the door. So we had to do this, like you'll know this. I was off camera for about 20 takes while they were filming Sam and Kat. Yeah. So I had to give them a line from off camera. So I kept saying my line off camera. Perfect, pitch perfect every time for 20 takes. They turned the camera around and they went action, and I went, it wouldn't have come out. And that's the thing, is that just that simple thing of when the camera's on you can totally just change your focus. Yeah. And it was. I'm hoping it's in one of the gag reels because everybody was laughing. But thankfully, second time round, nailed it, and they moved on, because you don't want to be the guy that can't say his lines. So they'll allow you one of them, but don't be. Time is money, so don't be wasting too much time.
Oh yeah, true, very true. Especially with lighting. That's something else I found as well with the lighting, which, because we had to get the stuff. They were rushing because the light was going dark, and it was like, we've got to get this done now. And it was like, the pressure gets on, and that's where it can be very tiring, long days for you guys. I was lucky because I did it one day. A
lot of the things on screen is the prep before the shout action. Do you know what I mean? And holding, try to keep the light, as you say, we were doing the movie Kajaki, or Kilo 2 Bravo in the States. Yeah. And half of the day was filmed in the morning, obviously, and that's when they were focusing on one group of guys, because their stuff happened in the morning. And as the day went on, the second half of the day was kind of a total other group of actors, and all their stuff had to be filmed in the evening because of the certain way the light was. Yeah. So the day was broke into two. So.
It's fascinating. That's what interested me a lot. I mean, my wife said, "You're not bored?" And it's like, well, no, because of that. It was. I was just sat there, and I felt like I belonged, but it was just seeing all the stuff and preparation that goes into one 3-minute long scene. It's just fascinating. It's a lovely craft to sort of be in and experience. I was actually going to move on to one of my next questions. Was talking about Kajaki.
Okay.
Or Kilo 2 Bravo for American listeners, because I do have some. What was it like? Because obviously that's a real life story, and it was Corporal Stu Pearson you played, so that must have been pretty harrowing, because it's very, very fresh in our minds, because it was it's only in the past few years that we've just got out of there. So
it's the most recent conflict. It's a modern day war film, and we don't make many. The British don't seem to make them.
No,
we leave that down to the Americans. They're very good at celebrating their military history and stuff.
Oh yeah,
we're not so great at it in the UK. It was a totally different experience. Playing a real person is a total different thing to prep for, because there's not as much room for you to play, if that makes sense. So when you get a character, you look at it, you go, oh, I could do this with this guy, I could make him this, I can make this interesting. When you get the script through for a true story, and the real soldier you're playing's alive, and he's going to be coming to see the show, and going to come to see the film with his friends and his family and his regiment, then the pressure is that you've got to represent him and his regiment and do a really good job. Because the worst thing would be is that, the guy that you've played standing there, and he doesn't think you've done a fair representation of what happened in his story. So yeah, it was a big pressure. I put an awful lot of prep in. I did a lot of research, a lot of internet stuff I was looking at before I met Stu Pearson. When I met Stu, I picked his brains. I got him awful drunk till the early hours, so I could try all the information I wanted to ask out of him.
Sure, as a squaddy, he wouldn't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. And when we went to the movie premiere after it, he said to folk that it was 99.9% bang on, and he said Scott would have had to have been there on the day to have got it any better. He would have had to have been there. That's it.
Yeah.
So I'll take that. I'll take
that is very